HSK Hatch, Slack, and Concept are also called as 1 minute.
So, C4 pathway, there are two types of cells you studied last lecture में, the mesophyll cell and the bundle sheath cell. You remember mesophyll cell and bundle sheath cell. Now, some reaction takes place in the mesophyll cell, some reaction takes place in the bundle sheath cell. Let us talk about reaction in the mesophyll cell. Mesophyll cell, bundle sheath cell. थोड़ा ये छोटा हो गया, बड़ा बनाते हैं. ये mesophyll cell. इसको भी थोड़ा बड़ा बना देते हैं. ये bundle sheath cell. नाउ क्या होता है? इसमें क्या होता है? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ऑफ लो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, जो लो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन का कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है, वो मेसोफिल सेल के अंदर आता है. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ऑफ लो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन CO2 enters into mesophyll cell. In the mesophyll cell, the CO2 react with phosphoenol pyruvic acid. It react with pyruvic acid, I suppose, and then forms phosphoenol pyruvic acid. ठीक है, पहले it react with PIPA. Phosphoenol pyruvic acid के साथ कौन रिएक्ट करता है? CO2. In presence of enzyme PEP carboxylase. PEP carboxylase. I repeat, carbon dioxide of low concentration enters into the mesophyll cell through stomata. कहाँ से एंटर करता है? through stomata. There is a stomata ना, cells में stomata होता है कि नहीं? प्लांट में lower epidermis is with stomata, correct? तो यहाँ से वो अंदर जाएगा and then there is a mesophyll cell, तो mesophyll cell. So carbon dioxide of low concentration enters into the mesophyll cell through stomata. Once it enters in the mesophyll cell, it reacts with phosphoenol pyruvic acid. It is a 3-carbon and it forms the 4-carbon molecule called as oxaloacetic acid, your oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate is a 4-carbon compound. Now here there are two possibilities. It reacts with NADPH2. It uses NADPH2. It uses NADPH2. क्या? NADPH2 and NADP and ATP भी use करेगा to form malic acid या malate. क्या बनाएगा? Malate. Or else it can form something else also. एक दूसरा reaction भी कर सकता है. It can use similarly either this or this. दोनों में से कोई एक reaction. Here also it will use NADH2, NADPH2 and form NADP. Here it uses an enzyme called as transaminase. Transaminase. Okay. Along with it, it will also use ammonia, NH3. And a molecule is formed called as aspartic acid. Yeah, aspartic acid या asparatate. So I would repeat, मैंने पूरा सिखाया नहीं है. I'm just teaching you what I said. Carbon dioxide of low concentration enters into the mesophyll cell through stomata. In the mesophyll cell, carbon dioxide reacts with phosphoenol pyruvic acid. It reacts with phosphoenol pyruvic acid to form oxaloacetate in presence of enzyme PEP carboxylase. Carboxylation reaction होता है. Now, oxaloacetate, it has two possibilities. It will either form malic acid malate or asparatic acid. Malic acid is formed because of NADPH2 and enzyme malate dehydrogenase. Enzyme क्या यहाँ पे है? Malate dehydrogenase. बराबर है? Either ये रिएक्शन होगा इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ अमोनिया ट्रांसअमाइनेज, एस्पेरेटिक एसिड बनेगा, या रिएक्शन ये होगा. तो दिस मैलेट अगर बनता है, यूजुअली मैलेट बनता है, नाउ इट विल गो इनटू पिक्चर बंडल शीट सेल. यहाँ पे मैलेट जो है, इट हैज टू पॉसिबिलिटी. इट गिव्स कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू द केल्विन साइकिल. क्या? केल्विन साइकिल हमने पढ़ा था लास्ट टाइम. और यहाँ पे क्या बनेगा? ग्लूकोज बनेगा या कार्बोहाइड्रेट बनेगा. ठीक है. एंड बनाएगा पायरुविक एसिड. क्या बनेगा? पायरुवेट या पायरुविक एसिड. Now this pyruvate diffuses from bundle sheath cell to again mesophyll cell. Pyruvate this uses ATP. क्या करेगा? It will use ATP to form phosphoenol pyruvate to continue the C4 pathway. So I would like to repeat C4 pathway. The first stable compound is a 4 carbon, hence it is called as C4 pathway. The first stable compound is a 4 carbon, hence it is called as C4 pathway. I repeat, C4 pathway में क्या होता है? HSK pathway में carbon dioxide. The reaction takes place in two cells, mesophyll cells and bundle sheath cell. First point, carbon dioxide of low concentration enters into the mesophyll cell through stomata. It reacts with PEPA in presence of PEP carboxylase to form oxaloacetate. The first stable compound is a 4 carbon, hence it is called as क्या? Hence it is called as C4 pathway. Oxaloacetate will either use ammonia and transaminase in presence of NADPH to form asparatic acid, which is stored form, and or it may use NADPH in presence of malate dehydrogenase enzyme to form malate. Malate will diffuse or will move into the bundle sheath cell. किसमें गया वो? Bundle sheath cell में गया. Malate has two possibilities. It will give carbon dioxide to work. One carbon dioxide to Kelvin cycle to produce carbohydrate. That is your sugar. And will form malic acid. ये 4 कार्बन का है ना. Malate is कितने कार्बन का है? 4 कार्बन का है. Malate is made up of 4 कार्बन. तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का एक कार्बन गया तो ये 3 कार्बन. अब पायरुवेट बनता जाएगा तो पायरुवेट will again go from bundle sheath to mesophyll cell. In the mesophyll cell, pyruvate uses ATP to form phosphoenol pyruvate and the cycle continues. Hence, it is called as pathway या cycle. ठीक है? Because it is continuously taking place. ठीक है? इसके लिए केल्विन साइकिल भी नाम लिया गया था उसको, इससे पहले वाले को. लॉ ऑफ लिमिटिंग फैक्टर. What is this law of limiting factor? For photosynthesis, you need carbon dioxide, you need chlorophyll, you need water, and you need sunlight. 4 things. Now, anything, the one which is minimum will control the rate of photosynthesis. So, the rate of photosynthesis is controlled by the substance which is minimum or limited. For example, if everything is there but carbon dioxide कम हो गया, photosynthesis is controlled by carbon dioxide. Everything is there, chlorophyll is less, chlorophyll will control the rate of photosynthesis. Everything is there, water is less, the water will control the rate of photosynthesis. Everything is there at night, but photosynthesis do not take place because light is not available. So light will control the rate of photosynthesis. समझ में आया? So photosynthesis, the rate of photosynthesis is controlled by the substance which is minimum. So this is called as a law of limiting factors. Another thing I want to tell you is about CAM pathway. CAM pathway मतलब क्या है? Crystallization, acid metabolism pathway. Now अभी इसमें क्या होता है? इसमें क्या दिया है? In case of xerophytes, the word zero means desert. Zero म्हणजे काय? Desert, वाळवंट जागा. आणि the word phytes means what? Plants. Plants that live in deserts. Generally क्या होता है? The stomata closes at night and opens during daytime. बराबर है? But यहाँ पे उल्टा होता है. The stomata opens at night and closes during daytime. Day में stomata बंद रहता है और नाइट में ओपन होता है. क्यों? क्योंकि ये डेजर्ट प्लांट है. अगर दिन में स्टोमेटो ओपन रहेगा तो क्या होगा? इसका सारा का सारा वाटर वेपर ट्रांसपिरेशन में लॉस हो जाएगा.
Water will evaporate.
Yes, water will be evaporated. You're right. So water will be evaporated through the process called as transpiration. So इसमें उल्टा होता है. इसमें C3 पाथवे जो है वो डे में होता है. दैट इज केल्विन साइकिल. तुमने अभी पढ़ा था एचएस के पाथवे. इसमें C3 पाथवे भी था केल्विन साइकिल. सो केल्विन साइकिल डे में होता है और एचएस की पाथवे नाइट में होता है. C4 पाथवे नाइट में. समझ में आया? C4 plants are more efficient plants. C4 plants contain, C4 plants are more efficient plants. C4 plants जो होते हैं, they are more efficient. They are more efficient. It works even if CO2 is 2 parts per million, as less as 2 parts per million. मतलब 1 billion में only 2 parts of CO2 है, फिर भी वो काम करता है. It is more efficient. It produces more carbohydrates, more food in fact. Example, jawar, rice, bajra, ragi, sugarcane. Usually all monocot. Usually monocots are following C4 pathway. C4 pathway को follow करते हैं. Monocot with one cotyledon. जैसे कि राइस का 2 इक्वल पार्ट नहीं होता, लेकिन चना की व बटाना का 2 इक्वल पार्ट होता है ना.
Yes, sir. They are.
तो they are
They are
dicot. Yes, you're right. They are dicot. Okay. I hope you are understanding this. Okay. So I'm almost at the verge of finishing this chapter. Huh? The next part is the photosynthesis का significance. फायदा क्या होगा? Advantages of photosynthesis. So what are the significance? थोड़ा सोचो. थोड़ा सा सोचो. Photosynthesis. It is through photosynthesis we get food, है ना? So it ultimately produces food for directly or indirectly for themselves as well as for the rest of the world. So plants produce food for themselves as well as for rest of the world. Okay? Directly or indirectly. For example, you say that I don't eat plants, I eat only carnivorous animals. Some animals, for example, some animals like tiger, lion, they eat only animals, but those animals whom they eat plants. So ultimately plant के ऊपर depend करता है. Then इसके बाद क्या होता है? It produces oxygen, which is indispensable of life, है ना? Life के लिए कितना important है oxygen? Then oxygen react with sunlight, okay, and form ozone. So this is 3O2 form 2O3 ozone, okay, that absorbs ultraviolet radiations, है ना, UV light. Now इसके ये 3 functions हो गए. और क्या है? Plant produces fossil fuel, है ना. यार fossil fuel वही बनता है क्योंकि plant और animals मरने के बाद many million years के बाद under the compression in the earth's crust वो plant और animal के वजह से ही बना है ना. तो animal भी है तो it depends on plant, so it is a cause for fossil fuels. Okay. फिर with respiration के साथ मिलके it maintain the O2 and CO2 balance, oxygen and carbon dioxide balance. Along with CO2, along with respiration and photosynthesis together, coupled with photosynthesis and respiration, they maintain the O2 and CO2 balance. There are many other. You get you get food, then you get commercial like timber. You get timber, घर पे furniture के लिए wood चाहिए. Then you get paper, you get honey, है ना? All these things. You get raisins, you get gums, etc., through plant, and plant survives through photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is so important. जो भी है because of photosynthesis, and all because of sunlight. So you should never forget sunlight. हम लोगों ने क्या बोलते हैं? सूर्य देव. We call it as सूर्य देव, sun god. Any question?